breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alert.
Illegal Muslim migrant released on bail 6 times, repays liberal judge in gruesome way. Despite being brought to court 6 times for his criminal behavior, a liberal judge ruled that an illegal alien could not be deported and would once again walk free on bail. However, just hours after being released for the 6th time, the sadistic migrant repaid the liberal judge in the most gruesome way imaginable. In the name of multiculturalism, the left has forced Muslim asylum seekers upon unwilling communities. Although Islamic countries account for some of the world's worst human rights violators, Muslims continually demand the same oppressive Sharia law from which they suffer in their own countries. While the left's favorite special interest groups have allied themselves with the West's Muslims in demanding minority rights, they soon regret when adherents put these religious rights into practice. In spite of being arrested, charged, and tried 6 separate times in just 2 years for a series of crimes, the left-leaning UK justice system was adamant that Muslim migrant Hani Khalif walks free. Undoubtedly exploiting his minority privilege, Khalif was allowed to roam the streets as an illegal invader with a history of theft, trespassing, and loitering. During his 6th court hearing, an unnamed judge of London's Hyde Park once again let Khalif go free after determining that he could not be deported, despite his illegal status and continual offenses. Moments later, Khalif proved exactly why open borders don't work. The Telegraph reports that after the justice concluded that 22-year-old Khalif will not be deported and must be released a 6th time, the illegal Muslim immigrants brutally murdered 62-year-old Jairo Medina, a legal Hispanic immigrant who was a member of the LGBT community. In an incredibly horrible irony, because leftist authorities continually bailed out the illegal Muslim immigrant who repeatedly abused the law, they lost one of their own legal and peaceful homosexual immigrants. Khalif severely beat the elderly Colombian by punching and kicking him in the torso and head on the evening of August 11, according to the Gay UK. Medina reportedly suffered numerous broken bones including fractured ribs and serious head trauma before succumbing to his injuries. A post-mortem examination determined that Medina lay dying alone on the ground in Hyde Park before dying of blunt force trauma. Leaving Medina in a puddle of blood, Khalif made off with his victim's wallet, cell phone, and a backpack filled with other belongings. He was only arrested 6 days later when he tried to sell Medina's phone, which was being tracked by investigative officials. Now that Khalif has been brought before the court for a 7th time, he finally faces an actual sentence, a minimum of 26 years in prison for murder. Still, during his sentencing on August 24, there was again no mention of extradition as the illegal invader is apparently still considered undeportable. Additionally, the court refuted accusations that Khalif committed a hate crime both based on sexual orientation and race, proving that Islam trumps all other minority statuses. Jairo Medina was a kind and gentle man who dedicated his life to caring for others, Detective Chief Inspector Nicola Wall, of the Homicide and Major Crime Command, said. We believe that robbery was the motive behind the murder. In the very early stages of the investigation we realized that Jairo was an openly gay man who liked to socialize in and around Hyde Park. Our investigation received a lot of support and assistance from representatives of the LGBT community who work alongside the local police in Westminster. I would like to acknowledge their support in helping us achieve justice. The left wanted this Muslim migrant to stay in their country at all costs, failing to realize the cost was much greater than they hoped to pay. Instead of a kind and peaceful legal immigrant, the UK received a supremacist who sought only to take as much as he could from the country that graciously allowed him to stay. This case shows that Islam trumps the LGBT and any other demographic. Although Islam is merely a religious ideology, it is treated not only as a race but as an uncriticizable ethnicity that supplants all others. Criticizing it is now a punishable offense as the UK capitulates to Sharia law. Of course, just as equal to Sharia blasphemy laws are those against homosexuality or any type of gender politics. The Quran and Hadith specifically prohibit homosexuality and transgenderism, adding that the Prophet Muhammad himself condemned effeminate men. He also mandated the execution of gays, which was carried out by his closest companions by burning, stoning, and throwing them off of buildings. The LGBT and every other liberal group are merely facilitating in their own death. The left stands for everything that is against Islam, female empowerment, sexual freedom, atheism, etc. It is only a matter of time before liberals empower the Muslim community to the point in which they are no longer needed and, thus, eliminated. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.